Okay, good evening, guys, and thanks for joining. It's 10 p.m. night, but still, with the request, you guys have joined, and I'm thankful for that. Okay, so what we would be doing now, we would be continuing with our Jenkins day 11 session. Okay, so in the last session, in the last class, I know that we started with our Jenkins pipelining, right, where we had understood about there are two types of pipelining. One is nothing but your scripted pipelining, and the next is the declarative pipelining. And we also try to understand like what is the syntax of scripted pipelining. Basically, we need to use this syntax for writing scripted pipelining. Okay, so scripted pipelining is nothing but it's a procedure pipelining. So that's how. And the declarative today we'll be learning about the declarative pipelining. Okay, so now in the last session we had covered and we also executed our game of life example, right? We wrote a scripted pipelining and we just try to execute as a scripted pipelining demo, right? As a creating one pipeline job, we did it and then we executed it, right? So today our agenda is will be more on declarative pipelining. So what would be the agenda today? We'll be learning about the declarative pipelining. So declarative pipelining, it means that we will be taking an example of Game of Life and Spring Pet Clinic. SPC means Spring Pet Clinic. These two projects we will be writing in a declarative method. So we'll be writing the build process, everything in a declarative method actually. As well as today we'll also understand like how to configure the email sending email notification or email notification with Jenkins. So this would be the two topics which we would be covering today. Okay, clear, guys. So now, you remember, like in the last session, we had discussed about this stuff, but we forget to, like mention some of the what are the advantages or the disadvantages in the scripted pipelining. So what are the so for the scripted pipelines? So I just missed it, so that I will cover it now. So what are the advantages of writing a scripted pipeline? See, as I said earlier, in the scripted pipeline, right? This scripted pipeline came into the picture when the Jenkins was evolved. So when the Jenkins first version was released, right? The freestyle project was enabled. It means that you can write everything in the freestyle project. So freestyle project basically mostly it's a UI based actually. It means that you need to use some kind of a UI to configure the whole job. Plus, it also requires you to even install some plugins also. But without plugins, we can work. But still, sometime what happen, right? You are forced to use some plugins so that you it will become very easy for you. Otherwise, without plugin also, if you want to really configure or you want to really achieve certain things, you can do through the command way. It means that through your shell way, invoking shell way, or through the Windows bash way, you can do it. But still, people will not do that. They'll go with the plugins actually, and most of the plugins are free level, but that's what. So it's completely UI based actually, right? At the same version, the Jenkins when the first version came, at the same version, even the like pipeline was introduced, and the pipeline what earlier it was used is not but your scripted pipeline. Whatever we learned the last session, right? Scripted pipeline or nothing but the procedure pipeline, right? That was also introduced from the Jenkins version 2, right? The Jenkins version 2 from the second version, Jenkins second version, the declarative method was used. The declarative pipeline was introduced actually. Okay, so this has more advantages. So pipeline is more on usage of the commands actually, command lines. It means that you are not dependent upon the UI, you are not dependent on the user interface, you're only dependent upon the command line. For that reason, you will go with the declarative pipeline. And of course, in the industry, like most of the projects which the people will go for, writing, for doing a build process, they will go with the declarative pipeline because you will get a better control over there rather than the free shell project. Yeah, of course, find plenty of free style projects also. But as I said, right, most of the people in the industry now they started converting all the freestyle projects into the declarative pipeline. Okay, so this is what like nowadays industries are working on, and the scripted pipeline. I'm just trying to tell you like what is an advantages actually. So generally, few sections and few sections are available, and less specifications needed. So you remember in the last session when we created a declarative, scripted pipeline, right? You saw that there were a lot of not many sections were there. Like for example, if I go through the if I go through the my Jenkins server, this is my Jenkins server, and if I go to the if I take the public IP, so just copy the public IP, give the port number 8080. So your Jenkins is running here, and you just log into this. So this is my Jenkins server, and like in the last session we had covered the scripted pipeline demo, right? So in this scripted pipeline demo, if you go to the configure, you could see that not many sections are there. The sections are very less. It means that it is very easy to manage it. Whereas in your freestyle projects, you have lot of, like for example, if you go to the spec planning demo one, it's a freestyle project. If you go to the configure, you could see that the sections are more over here actually. You need to configure everything. You need to configure the build trigger. You need to configure the build environments, build step, post action. So many things are there. So here you will be involved in doing many steps when you are working on freestyle. Whereas in case of a pipeline, there are less steps. That's what I have mentioned. Generally, we have few sections available and less specifications needed. That's the advantage. So second, what is the advantage of capability? Capability of using more using more procedural code or procedural code actually. Okay, because you are using a Groovy, right? So Groovy has a more like procedural code actually. So you need to follow the Groovy style. So obviously the scripted pipeline, right? It uses the Groovy, and the Groovy in turn is written in the Java actually. So what are the syntaxes which you will follow in the Java, right? Same syntaxes are there applicable for the Groovy also. So you would be using the most of the procedure codes you will be using it actually, right? So it is more like a program actually. Suppose any developers who is working and who he want to write, right? For him it becomes very easy. So he will be more interested to like pipeline because it for him it looks like a code only. It looks like a program only. And because there are less sections are there, and this is a declarative pipeline, it means that you need to mostly you'll be involved in a commands or command line. So hence what happened, right? You will get a lot of customization. Tomorrow, if you want to do a lot of customization, you can achieve the customization freestyle project. So you have to do that more flexibility to do custom operations. So these are some few advantages, guys, for the scripted pipeline actually. Okay, scripted pipelining. What is the disadvantages? Not many, but still I would like to mention few of the disadvantages. So the disadvantages are, so here because we strictly follow the Groovy, and the Groovy, as I said in the last session also, so there are requirement in the industry as you should know the Perl, the Python, the shell scripting. Similarly, many of the organization nowadays they started asking about the Groovy also. So they'll ask in an interview whether you know Groovy. So yes, if you have learned the Groovy, I mean you'll be able to answer many of the questions what they ask in a Groovy scripting. So better you whenever you get time, you start updating even in Groovy also. Okay. So in that case, what happened, right? More programming is required actually. So here, more programming is required because of Groovy, Groovy scripting or Groovy language, whatever. So syntax checking is limited to the Groovy language. Means you need to strictly follow the whatever the syntax which is provided, right? By the Groovy, you need to follow that actually. So by the Groovy language, limited to the Groovy language and environment, like that. So that's how, and it always looks a little bit different compared to a traditional freestyle project, because here most of the time you will be writing a code actually. So it looks different from the traditional Jenkins freestyle project, freestyle model you can say. Okay. So and because it involves a little bit of coding, sometimes what happens like people might feel very complex. They might feel like, yeah, it is a little hard to understand. So because some of the people who are from the totally non-IT background, right, they might feel it is more complex. So that could be one of the disadvantages also, but not really that much. But because if you understand the Groovy scripting and if you start practicing, as I said, more and more writing the script, definitely you will be learning, you will be able to learn everything. So, but still, I'm just putting under the disadvantage. It is more complex because many of the non-IT people, right, they were trying to get into the DevOps work, right? So they when they work or when they start working on Jenkins, right, and the two pipeline, they might feel little bit difficult to understand. Okay, so this is what the advantage disadvantage of the scripting pipeline. So same thing, what I would do that I would write now itself for the declarative pipeline also. Declarative pipeline. Okay, what are the advantages and disadvantages of the declarative pipeline? What are the advantages, guys? So advantages are it is more structured way. So means later we will see now what is structured way means. It's a more structured way. It means that actually there are a lot of stuffs are there. It means that you need to understand many things because you need to strictly follow the documentation of Jenkins, no reference document or syntax document to write the declarative pipeline scripting. So it is more structured way. You need to follow the structure. So if you're doing some mistakes, if you're not using the or if you're not strictly following the structure, right, definitely your declarative pipeline script will not work. So it's a more structured way. So that's how it has been designed. So it is more capability of declare what is needed actually. Declare what is required or what is needed. Okay, okay, and also like you will be coming across like we can even create the declarative pipeline through something known as a Blue Ocean. So it is a graphical interface. You need to install the Blue Ocean plugin to get the Blue Ocean enabled. Through the Blue Ocean also you can create a pipeline. So we can install Blue Ocean plugin so that we can generate the declarative pipeline with graphical interface. So here what happened, it is just like something like later I will be showing this thing, guys, don't worry. So with the generally I don't like the Blue Ocean way because if you are working on a pipeline that is declarative pipeline, it is better to you to always sit and write the code or sit the write the pipeline instead of following the same traditional method of going with the graphical and all, right. That doesn't look good actually, but still some people in the industry, they are more comfortable even working with the Ocean Blue plugin also. It means that if you install the Ocean Blue plugin, right, you will get a Blue Ocean. Through the Blue Ocean you can even create a pipeline. It will be more like a graphical method. There nothing coding won't come much. You have to just give the inputs whatever it asks, and finally it internally generates the pipeline. Okay, so better syntax checking. So it has a better syntax checking and error detection or error identification. So these are some of the advantages of declarative pipeline, guys. What are the disadvantages? To me, for me, I am not seeing that much disadvantages here, but still we can write it down some few disadvantages, right? Because that this is a very new things and a lot of new changes are going on every time when I start working on declarative, right? A lot of changes is done by the Jenkins organizations, right? The cloud based that lot of new changes they do it actually. So it is still evolving, I would say. It is still evolving and people are using it. So a lot of changes are going on in declarative. So you need to strictly follow the official document of the Jenkins to follow up what are the changes they are doing it. Okay, onto the declarative pipelines. Okay. And uh, because it doesn't require any kind of a logic to be applied, like you need to just follow the structured way. So there is nothing like okay, some logic is required you to write the pipeline. It's not required. So all kind of iterative logic is not that much supported actually. So iterative logic is less supported. These are the, so this is what, that's what I said, that only few are there which I don't want to really right? But still, okay, when we are discussing about advantage and disadvantage, something I have to tell, right? So that's what this is this is not exactly a disadvantage, because this is more like improvising the existing declarative. But still, what happened, we could say that still it is evolving. Evolving means a lot of changes have been done by the Jenkins community. Okay, so now, guy, okay, yeah, good. Any doubts, guys? No? Okay, sure. Now, in the last session, we had seen the structure of your scripted pipeline, right? This is the structure actually. If I want to show in a diagrammatical format like this, right? Always, what are the diagram which we are drawing now, right? You should always keep this in mind, because this will be very helpful for you to understand further. So this is nothing but your, let me go with the blue, okay, light blue, and oh, here this is nothing but your node. Sorry, this is nothing but your node. Okay, so in the node, you know that we are having a stage actually. This is nothing but your stage actually. So in the stage, you'll be having multiple steps. So multiple steps are there actually, like this. Multiple steps are there. So this we call it as a step. Right. So guys, this is what we call it as a scripted pipelining. So nowadays, I said, right, we are not using the scripted pipeline. Okay. What about the declarative pipeline? How it looks like? Okay. So here, it is not like boring actually. It looks to be, like this looks very, cumbersome for you. Some of you might say that what is this, Rajesh? There are many things are there, many components are there which we have to understand or which you have to learn. How we will remember? No problem, sir. You have to only remember some few components while writing a declarative pipeline. Rest all will come as soon as you keep practicing. That things will be become very easy for you guys. Okay. So this is nothing but your declarative pipeline. I'll be writing now. uh, I'll be using the same thing I will use, or else let me use some light color. Yeah, this one. Yeah. So now, guys, what we have here, uh, let me do one thing. Let me try to type. Let me do a green color as required, actually, as required. So what is this? I will tell you now. So green color is something required actually, and red color is something like an optional. Means it's not really required. If you want, you can do it, or else you can skip it. So red color is not, but it's an optional. Okay, so what I will do here, I'll just copy this. So I'll keep it here. So this one, I will say it as a green color, means wherever you see it is green color means it is required actually. Wherever you say it is a red color means it is an optional. That's what you have to understand. So here what happened, this green color box means it is required. Okay, so like that you are having a, many of the boxes are green color, some of the box are green color, some of the box are in red color actually. So here, this is nothing but agent, this is the environment, correct? This is nothing but your tools. Okay, this is nothing but your optional. Okay, this is nothing but your trigger. Okay, this is nothing but your trigger. Okay, let me draw it properly. Nothing but your trigger, even though it might take some time, but that is fine. Trigger, what is a trigger? Agent, uh, Okay, I have forgotten it actually. Wait, hold a second. Environment. Not sorry. I will write in. So in not environment, agent actually. Agent is required. After that, you have something. No, there's an environment. This is an environment. Okay. Tells the next. We have something as the tools. Okay. After tools, we have options. Okay. What are after options? We have something the triggers. Triggers. Okay. After that, we have something as a parameters. Yeah. Now I remember. It's a parameters. This is nothing but the parameters. Okay. And after parameters, you have something as a libraries. Libraries. And after that, we have something known as a stage actually. So now here, now we are coming out with something as a green color. So this is required. So wherever you are seeing the green color, it means that's a required field. And after that, again, we will come across with our optional, which is nothing but post actually. This is nothing but a post. So now let me write it down. So after triggers, what we have, guys, we have something as a parameters. Parameters. So this is required, guys. Whenever you're working on a declarative pipeline, you need to know all these things actually. And this is the libraries. And this is nothing but we call it as a stages actually. What is it? You call this as a stages. Okay, and this is nothing but your post, post, post. Okay, so this is what, this is nothing but your declarative pipeline. What is it? Declarative pipeline. The scripted pipeline, it doesn't have this much of component, right? See, where is it? You have only node, we have stage, and each stage will have multiple steps actually. That's what we have. Whereas here declarative pipeline, it looks like a complex, but it is not complex actually. You might feel that it is a complex, but it is not complex actually. Okay, now what we will do, right? We will try to elaborate this stage actually. So how you elaborate it? So take one more like this. Okay. So now what we'll do here, I will try to add a different color over here, something yellow color or light yellow color. Yeah, or else no, it looks odd actually. I need a light color like this. Yeah, this is the light color I have. Okay. And after that, here what happened, guys? So this is nothing but the stages. Okay, this is nothing but the stages. Okay, sorry. Stages. And this stage will have a multiple stages actually like this. This is stage. So this is stage and this is having a multiple stage. So this is one stage actually like this. And this is one more stage like this. You will have multiple stages. Okay. So under the stage here, this is nothing but your, sorry, and this is nothing but your stage. So stages has the stage actually like this. This is a stage and this is a stage actually. Okay. Here also the same stuff, guys. Actually, you have optional, we have a required actually, which are nothing, which are optionals. So we have something known as an optional here. So under the stage, you have something as optional like this. You have one option which is the but agent again. We have one more optional by name environment. Environment like this. Okay, we have one more optional by name tools. Okay, and we have something as a required actually. Required is always green color. Sorry, you have a more optional, right? After that, you have something known as a required actually. Required is nothing but it is, we call this as a steps actually. This we call it as a steps. Okay, and again we have one more optional, which we call it as a post here. So what are things you have, guys? Uh, yeah, somewhat I'm just managing, adjusting. Yeah, correct. Okay, this is nothing but your agent. It is optional. Okay, you can put the agent or without agent also it works. Here you have something as an environment. You have tools. This is nothing but the steps, actually, what we say steps. And inside the step, you will have something on the statements like this. You have something as a statements like this. You can have one statement or you can have multiple statements. And this we call it as a post. And again, this is a stage like this actually. So this stage will look like this actually. Am I clear, sir, with this diagram? Guys, this is the pattern, or this is the structured way. Whatever we are talking, right? It's a structured way, right? So this is the structured way. It is more structured way. This is a structure you need to follow. This structure you need to follow. Clear? Am I clear, sir? So how we can learn means you have to just follow the syntax. It means that syntax means you need to follow this structure way. What are the components we have in declarative pipeline? What is the required? What is option? You have to understand. Here, when you start it, always agent is required and stages is required. Under the stages, what is required? Only steps. These are all red color optional. If you want, you can put it. If you want to ignore, you can ignore it. So these all are optional. Red color are optional. It means that it is based on your requirement. If you want to use a trigger, you can use a trigger, or else you can leave it. But whenever you are using a declarative pipeline, it is mandatory that you need to define what is an agent. It is mandatory that you need to have a stages, and within the stages, here you have a stage one, stage two, stage three, like that. Stage one, stage two, stage n, and within the each stage, you are having something the steps, and within the each steps, you will write some statements. But here also what happened, right? Each and every stage have as an optional. You can specify in which agent that particular stage should get executed. It's required by you or not. Suppose you want to pass any environment to that particular stage, you can pass it. What are the tools you are using in that particular stage? Like for example, you're using Maven tool, you're using Sonar tool, any tool which you're using, or else you're using Terraform tool. Any tool you're using, you need to specify the tool, and these are all optional. And again, what happened, you need to use the steps. Within the steps, you need to use the statements. And post build activity, whatever the post after this is done, if you want to do any kind of a post build activities, you can you can mention the post builds also, or else you can mention the we can do a post actions actually. So again, this is also optional here. Even in this also it is optional. So this one I'm just elaborating, I'm showing it how it looks like. Is it clear, guys? Am I clear till here? Any doubts you have? Anyhow, we will be writing a declarative pipeline, means you will be understanding the whole syntax. Clear?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay, good. So this is what, whenever we talk about the declarative pipeline, this picture should come to your mind. Or else, whenever you are writing any declarative pipeline, you need to always open this image and you have to see it. And the same thing, you need to follow it. And of course, there is a documentation. There are reference are there, syntax, declarative syntax pipelines are there. Okay, you need to follow that and you need to just write it. That's all. There's nothing like a big thing here. So what we would be doing now, guys, we would be writing the, in the last session, you remember that we have written for our game of life, we had written the declarative pipeline. Can we write the, for the same game of life, can we write the declarative pipeline? Yes, we will be writing a, for the game of life project, we will implement the declarative method. Okay, so let me know one thing. I've already logged into my Jenkins server here, right? I've already logged into my Jenkins server. Okay, and here you could see that the Jenkins is up. let me do one thing. Before I do anything, let me go to the manage Jenkins and let me go to my manage nodes and cloud. Let me check whether it is up or not. See, both node 1 and node 2 are in sync. It means that's already there. And you know that in the node 1 we have given the label of JDK 8, and in the node 2 we have given the JDK 17. It means that in this node 2 JDK version 17 is installed. In the node 1 JDK 8 version is installed, right? So this we have been seeing this from last 2 3 sessions, right? From the last 2 3 sessions, right? So now what I would be doing, the guys, I would be writing a game of life, and I need to run in the game of life in a node 1 itself because it has that configuration. It has the Maven 3.6 and it also has the Java 8 because the game of life will run onto the Java 8. So game of life project, you know that, but still I will write game of life project will work when the node has Java 8 and and Maven 3.6.7 or Maven 3.6 installed. Guys, the same thing, the same configuration is the same config is also applicable to build the Open MRS project, Open MRS Java project. Okay, we will build tomorrow. We will build that Open MRS also. I'm just telling you, Open MRS will work with this combination. Sometime Open MRS will work in the Open JDK 16, but it has failed in Open JDK 11, 17, and 19 and all. That's what I have tested it, and I finally I saw that okay, in this combination, this project is actually running fine successfully. So I will go and run even Open MRS project even in this node 1. Maybe in upcoming classes, I'll be running the Open MRS also. Okay, whereas a Spring Pet Clinic, you know that it'll always work in a Open JDK or JDK 17 with the Maven 3.8 actually, right? With the higher version, the Spring Pet Clinic will get executed. So this we know very well. Okay, fine. Now what we'll do, guys, we will start write a pipelining. So you know that I'm already having the node 1 and node 2. Let me log into the node 1 because the node 1 is a place where you are having your Jenkins, sorry, where you're having a game of life. Like we have did a code pull, right? If you go to my GitHub account, this is my GitHub account, and you know very well that I have already did a fork of these two projects, game of life and Spec Clinic. So whatever I'm doing, that I'll be doing a build here itself. It means that I'll be using this source code repository, and then like I will be trying to build the whole code here in my account itself. Okay, tech leads 23, this is my GitHub account. Okay, and here what I will do, I've already did the code pull. Where I did the code pull, guys, I did the code pull in my node 1, and if you watch the previous videos, you know that I have did a code pull here. So what I'll do, let me log into this node 1 server. Okay, node 1 IP address, public IP, I will copy it, go to your downloads. You know that now that I need to log in to this server. So I have putty.exe, load this Ubuntu art because those are Ubuntu servers, and give the public IP. Open this. So you'll be logging to the node 1 server, right? And if you do an ls, you could see that actually that there's a game of life demo is there. Okay, let me do a cd to the game of life, guys. Good. And I say ls, again do a game of life and say enter and say clear the screen and say ls. See, this is the game of life project. And you remember in the last session we had wrote the Jenkins file, correct? I'm sorry, guys, hold a second. Yeah. So if you open that file, Jenkins file, you could see that we had written a scripted pipelining. Now you will say that, Rajesh, can I write the declarative pipeline in the same file? You can write in the same file, or else you can take a backup. Let me do a thing. Let me write in the same file, guys. So what I will do here, I will try to comment all these lines. See, double slash means I'm committing all this. I mean, I will be using the same file, but okay, let me do a thing. Let me comment this all line. And do at a short, but okay. Okay, guys, I've commented all this line. With that in the same file, I'll be writing. So whenever you are writing a pipeline, always, guys, whenever you're writing pipeline, always you need to start with pipeline. So pipeline, open the bracket and close the bracket. Close with the flow bracket. This should be similar. It means that it should have the open bracket and close bracket, right? So always make sure whenever you open the bracket, you always even try to even insert the close bracket also. Don't think that okay at the end I will do it because sometime if the pipeline is a very big pipeline, you have written some 100 lines of code, you don't know where it is opening, where it is closing, it will become a little bit difficult or the confusion. So it is always better to follow. Whenever you're opening the bracket, you also even even you try to insert even the close bracket also. So this is what it is. Now you know that I'm strictly following this diagram now. So you could say that, Rajesh, I need to first use the agent. Okay. So let me do one thing. Let me go to the Google and let me do a Jenkins syntax pipeline. Just type like this, Jenkins syntax pipeline. Now, if you open this Jenkins syntax pipeline, this is the article. So you need to always go to the official document. Okay. Now you could see, guys, actually it's a pipeline syntax, and whenever and it has the pipeline syntax for both, means scripted pipeline as well as the declarative pipeline also. See, declarative pipeline. Declarative pipeline is something like this. You should start with the pipeline, open the bracket, and the close the bracket, and inside that you need to insert all the declarative pipeline here. But for the declarative pipeline, if you're following this diagram, so whenever the pipeline starts, the first what is nothing but it is required is nothing but it's an agent. Okay. So let me go to the document. If you see it here, can you see there's something like an agent here? Yes, agent. Click on the agent here. See, it is a required section. It means that you need to always mention as yes. It means that it is required. Whenever you're writing a pipeline, you need to always mention the agent. So the agent section specify where the entire pipeline should get executed or a specific stage. It means that here, even the particular stage also, you can specify what is the agent. It means that you will be having multiple stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. You say that, Rajesh, stage 1 I need to run in the node 1. Okay. Stage 2 I need to run in a node 2. Stage 3 I need to write in node 3. Yeah. So how you can mention there also you have an agent, but it is an option here within inside the stage. It is not mandatory here. But whereas here, when you're starting the pipeline, agent here is always mandatory. It is required. Is it clear, guys? Inside the stage, you also have an agent where you can mention it here also, or the each stage also. That's what the documentation says, that you can you can mention into even a specific stage also, right? So it means that whatever your agent you are defining over there, guys, you should mandatory specify the agent, means under which agent it has to run actually. So if we come down here, they have mentioned what are the agents you have. Like for example, the parameters what you're passing for the agent is none. None means no, there is no agent like that. It means that I need to run into the same server wherever you are running the pipeline. Okay, fine. Or else any, you can mention any, whatever available stages is there on that particular available agent, it will run it actually. Label, yes, I can use the label here. Okay, label. So I know very well that I'm having a label 1 and label 2 or nothing but the JDK 8 label and JDK 17, which is nothing but node 1 and node 2. So can I use this labels here? Yes, you have to use the label. So label, so can you see the syntax? Agent, open the bracket, label, specify the label name and close the bracket. Like this only you have to use. See, this is syntax. And you remember the last session, somebody had asked me, Rajesh, can we have a multiple labels? Yes, you can have multiple labels. Label 1 and label 2, and you have to use. This is the and condition. Or it means that whenever these two labels are available, then only it has to get executed. Otherwise, no. Or you can even use label 1 or label 2. This is a or symbol. It means that if any one of the label is available, or is the if any one of the label condition is available, then only you execute it. If both these labels are not available, this agent it cannot execute. The pipeline will get it will get failed, because if there is no agent only available, how the pipeline will get executed, right? So that's the reason this is a very important stuff, guys. In most of the declarative pipeline, you will be seeing these things actually. So what I'll do now, I will be using this syntax. So what is it I'll be doing now? Come over here. So let me do one thing, guys. I will use a tab here. I'll say agent. I'll just follow the syntax here. Agent, open the bracket, label, label, space, okay, label name. So I know that I need to run in the JDK 8 label and close the bracket. Right. Now, what is it next? I will follow this diagram. So, okay, I need not to define any environment now, tools, options, triggers, parameters, libraries. I need not to define everything because these are all optional. Later, in some other declarative pipeline, I will be using all these optionals also. I will be using environment, I'll be using triggers, I'll be using options, I'll be using parameters and all. But right now, I need to write a very simple declarative pipeline. So I'm not using all these things right now. So what is the next thing which is required? Oh, it is required is stages actually. Okay, I'll do one thing. Come out here. Okay, and here what I will do that, guys. I'll go here and I'll just say stages. Stages. Okay, open the bracket. See, and close the bracket. So always you need to follow this syntax actually. Open the bracket and close the bracket. Yes. Okay, no problem. You can just rearrange later, but I'm just telling you that always you should make sure that whenever you are opening the bracket, you should always even close the bracket so that you will never forget to, follow the syntax. You need to follow the syntax like that. So under the stage, guys, if you see the diagram here, under the stage, you have stages, and each stages have multiple stage. So stage one, stage two, stage three, stage and like that. These are stage one. So let me do one thing. So I will try to implement the stage here. Come over here. So here, come over here. So I'll go into the insert mode, enter and say tab. I'll give one more tab, no problem. Let me be inside that. So I'll just say stage here like this. So stage of what? Okay, I need to do a source code actually. Let me do one thing. Let me copy the same thing here. I'll follow whatever is there at the top. Source code, open the bracket, and what it says that each stage will have something like a steps actually, because here also this is required. I will follow this diagram. Okay, it is required means step I need to use. Okay, fine. So I already have opened the bracket and close the bracket. This is available now. So inside the stage I have something known as a steps actually. STPS. Steps is nothing but it is a set of statements or instructions. Okay, it means that it is step of instruction statement means, oh, it should also have open bracket and it should also have something was a close bracket. Like that you have to understand. Okay? Don't worry about this. This we will remove it, but I'm just telling you that. Okay. Now this guys, this step, open the bracket. It is getting closed here. Whatever the green is highlighted here, right? So it is not but closed. Or it means that you're just following the syntax. Okay, fine. So each and every steps will have some kind of a statement. Okay, fine. What I will do here. So source code means you know that you are actually doing you're trying to do a git clone from specific project. You know that I'm doing a git clone of the from this GitHub URL, right? So what you have to do that now, that guys, blindly copy whatever it is there at the top here. Whatever it is there at the top now, simply blindly copy it like this. Then paste it. That's all. Okay. So now, okay, I can do a little bit rearrangement here. Okay, if it is going in the next line, so that is fine. There is nothing like here. You have something as a space. Yeah, I'm just little bit realigning, but that's fine actually. Okay. Don't think that Rajesh is something like I have to use a proper tab only I have to give always or something. Yeah, you can give it, but fine. So here what happened, guys? Here I'm just using only one instruction inside step because that you are trying to do a source, you are trying to do a git clone. From which branch? You could see that sprint one underscore develop. So from this branch, you're trying to do a git clone. So this is the instructions, right? So let me do one thing. Let me remove all these spaces over here so that uh, okay, now you could see that this is what it is. Okay, you have written one stage. Okay, now after that first stage, what you're doing the next stage, because here if you go to the diagram, you are having a multiple. So this stage is over. Now I'm writing some more stage. So what is the next stage? Oh, build the code. Okay, fine. So I'll do one thing, guys. Here, come down here. So I will not sorry, hold a second. So I'll just try to align like this. So you say that Rajesh, I'll write second stage. So what is the second stage you are writing, guys? So I will just copy the same thing here, whatever it is there, build the code, build the code. So initially I'm just copy pasting from the scripted way only because whatever the instructions which are here, right? The scripted as well as the declarative, it follows the same, same commands or the same steps. So you need not to worry. You are saying that Rajesh, why you are copying from here? Why don't you follow the document, right? As of now, I'm just copying it everything. In the next Open MRS on Spring Pit Clinic, I will follow the documentation, the official document of the Jenkins. From there, I look at it and I'll write the steps. Actually, all these steps and all, guys, these steps and all, these statements, sorry, not steps, statements and all. I'll be writing my own steps by looking into the official document. I will not follow this scripted pipeline, whatever they have written, right? That will not follow. But right now, timing, I'll just follow it, right? Because this is a very simple, declarative pipeline which I'm writing here. So here, now, whenever you're writing a stage, you know that always you have to open the bracket. You need to open the bracket, and you know that you need to close the bracket like this, right? And now, if you come over here, so again within the stage, you know that you have a something as a step actually, correct? Yeah, I'll just steps actually. Steps. Again, open the bracket. close a bracket like this. Within the step, what you're doing here, oh, you are just doing a MVN clean package. So let me do thing. Let me just copy paste the same stuff, guys. And here, what I will do that I will just do an enter, and I'll give here, and just do a paste it like this. So stage is over. Well, first stage is over. Okay. Second stage is build the code. Fine. What are the other things? So just to see it, whether you are properly closing all these brackets. See, this is properly getting closed. Okay. This is getting closed. Okay. Here, what happened that you are doing it actually. What about here? Yeah, this is closing with this. Fine. This is closing with this. So inside it is closing with this. Okay. Here, this is closing with this. This is closing with this. Fine. So you're just following the syntax. Okay. Fine. Now, what is the other thing? You need to write one more step, guys, actually, right? So what you'll be doing here. So okay, this is nothing but your pages. One second, guys. So here, build step. Okay, you are building the code, and here within that you are having a step. Within the step, you are following the document. This one, fine. This is for this. Okay, this is for your stage actually. Uh, Somewhere we are missing, right? That's what I just thought that we are missing somewhere. Here we need to close it, guys. Actually, see. Okay, this stage actually. Correct? Do you agree with me? So here you should have two brackets actually. That's what I missed it. See, that's what, otherwise it will throw a syntax error. Now, okay, now this is okay. This is okay. Okay. Uh, yep, okay. Now what you will do here, you will try to write one more stage here. So what is that one more stage here, right? After at the end, what you'll be doing, right? You will be writing archiving the results, archiving the test results, archiving the test results. Open the bracket and close the bracket. Okay. So within the stage, you know that I have to implement the steps actually, right? So what you'll be doing, guys, you'll be writing a step actually. Steps, open the bracket. You know that I need to even close the bracket also. Okay, good. Okay. Within the step, inside the step, you know that for the archiving, you need to do an archive artifact as well as you are archiving your JUnit also. A JUnit means all your test unit test execution results, right? That you are even you are getting even those things also. So let me do one thing. Let me under the steps, you know very well that I'll be writing all those statements. So what is it I'll be doing? Come here. So I think I have to write it here somewhere. So okay, I will do one thing. I'll copy paste this. Next line. The artifacts. Okay. So just make sure that whatever you are doing it, it is no. I mean the alignment is proper actually. Alignment is proper means the syntax whatever you're following right for closing the bracket and opening the bracket, right? That should be correct actually. Is it clear, guys? Till here? So these are simple scripted. I'm just copying the same thing, whatever I have written for the scripted pipeline. Same thing, I'm copying everything. These instructions only I'm copying. These statements only I'm copying from the scripted pipeline for writing our declarative. Okay, but it has to always start with the pipeline. That's what I said. So this is what we have written. Okay, anything else is required, guys? So let me check it. Okay, let me realign properly. Okay, this is open bracket. Okay, open the bracket, and this is for the stage, and uh, this is what it is closing. Fine, good. This we are closed. Okay, and here we are closing with this, with this, this with this. Okay, fine. And here also we are closing with this, with this, with this, and with this, with this we are closing. Fine. And for the stage, the main stage, we are closing here. Good. And for this pipeline, I'm closing here. Yeah, syntactically everything is fine, but only I have to do little bit rearrangement so that it looks something good actually. Okay, so fine. Okay, now it looks somewhat okay. This is what you have written it actually. Clear, guys? Now I'll just save this file actually. Okay, If you want, you can remove it also. Let me do one thing. Let me save this file and let me take a backup of this file. I'll create a copy of Jenkins file to the Jenkins file of uh, game of life or something like a declarative, sorry, scripted actually, scripted. Okay, so that I took a copy. So let me open the Jenkins file. Let me remove all these lines actually because I don't want this one now. Okay, guys. So this is perfect. This is a simple example which we have written for our declarative pipeline. Okay. Now what you will do that I will save this file. Okay, guys. Now what I'll do that I will just do a git status. So you are having two modified files. I am not worried about this. Okay. If you want to push, you can even push this also. But okay, fine. I'll just do a git add of uh, Jenkins file, and I'll do a git commit -m. What is it, guys? I'll be writing git commit -m of declarative pipeline something method. I'm using it and specify the file name. Okay, committed. Now you need to do a git push origin, and you have to do a sprint underscore development because you are pushing into this branch actually. So if you go here into my GitHub account, this is my GitHub account, guys, and you could see here actually you're having two branches here. Master is there, sprint one underscore develop is there. You are pushing here under the sprint one underscore develop branch. Clear? So this is already there is a Jenkins file is there. Okay, fine. It'll replace it actually. It'll replace this one. Okay. So what I will do here, I will come over here and I'll say git push origin master origin sprint underscore one develop. So it is asking me for the username. So I'll give the tech leads 23 is the username, and the password. You know very well that we need to copy the whatever we have that this one, right? Uh, I had the token, right? Git token, right? These are Git token which I had, right? So let me copy it. Let me keep it here so that I'll have one more copy of this. I remember I had given for 7 days off. I think 7 days is not expired, but let me check. If it is expired, I'll recreate it again. Yes, you're able to push it now. So you push it now. If you come over here to the GitHub account and you go to the game of life, you are under sprint one underscore develop. So just refresh this. Now you could see that you are having this Jenkins file, so which is a declarative pipeline method. So just upload it now, and you could see that yeah, this is available now. So I'll be able to run my declarative pipeline. So what I will do, guys, I will come back to my Jenkins and I will create a new item. So what I'll do that I'll just say game of life declarative pipeline. Correct. And here what happened that you need to go with the pipeline. Now you could see that Rajesh, all these days this was there, but what is this Maven project actually? This is a new thing I'm seeing now. Don't worry, guys. In upcoming classes, you will see like you'll be seeing that how it came. I will let you know later. Now don't worry about now. Okay. So you have to always click on the pipeline, come over here and just say okay. Okay. So now here what happened? This is used for this is a simple declarative something pipeline for game of life, for building game of life project. Okay. So now one doubt will come, sir, how we will say that it has to run in a open JDK, sorry, it has to run in a label. We were already defined, right? In the Jenkins file, you know that we already defined under which agent, it means which label you are running. You are running onto the JDK 8. Already you are mentioning it. It means that the pipeline while executing, it will know that, okay, I need to run to the label where there's a label JDK 8. And the JDK 8 label, you know very well that it is nothing but it is a node 1. Some people are asking, sir, how it will know while executing, how it will know it has to get executed? Array, we have already mentioned here, na? Right? That's what I mentioned the label. So it understand that, okay, under this agent where it is having a label JDK 8, there I need to run like that. Is it clear, guys? So now what I will do that I will save this file, and now I'll try to, I'm already writing a pipeline. Okay, so I'll do one thing. I'll come over here. I'll go to the pipeline directly. Before that, do you have anything else here? Do you have anything Git and all is required? No, it's not required. So I'll go to the pipeline directly. Here you could see that you are having a scripted pipeline. You can write, you can copy paste the script over here itself, or else you can go with the script from the SCM. So I'll select script from the SCM, right? Here it'll ask you more, which is SCM. It is a Git. Okay, Git. Now what happened, right? It'll ask you which is the what is the Git URL. So you know that you are having a game of life under your account. So go to the game of life. You are under sprint one underscore develop, right? This is nothing but this is the branch you are under this. You are under this branch. You are under this branch. So go to the code here, copy this GitHub URL, and then paste it here. Sorry, paste it here. Paste it here. Okay, fine. You do need any credentials? Not really required. What is the branch in which you know that I'm building under this sprint? Or what is that, guys? Sprint one underscore develop, right? Sprint one underscore develop. Yeah, sprint one underscore develop. Fine. So now any other thing you need to know? Okay, what is the script file name? Or it is its file name is Jenkins file only. See, the file name is Jenkins file only, right here. This is the file name with the same name actually. So the same name, it's already mentioned over here. That's all, guys. So then apply and save it. So now you are having a declarative pipeline game of life. Now let's build now. So there is something as a build now. Just click on this build now. So now you could see that it's building. So see, you could see that it has showing you some new way stage view. So it says that declarative SCM. It means that from where it is doing a code checkout. So it is doing a code checkout from our GitHub account. Okay. After that, you could see that it is calling the source code. So if you click on here, or else if you go over here also, it will show the logs actually, or else you can go directly over here also. Click on here, and you could see that actually, guys, see it has did a code pull. See, it has did a code pull, and then it has serially calling one stage, other stage. See, build the code. It is calling the second stage. The first code is nothing but source code, and after that it has executed all. It means that it has did a git clone. After that, it has build the code. So build the code means you are calling a MVN clean package. So it has build it. So while MVN clean package, it has did everything. It has even execute the unit test also. And after that, what happened, right? You have did the archive. See, if you go at the end, you could see that it has archived the artifactory. It has recorded the test results. And now if you go over here, and if you go to the build one, you could see that here game of life. This is there. And if you come down, you could see the test results, latest test results. Click on this. So you could see all the test results of the game of life. And you could go here and you could see that you are also having the artifactory. Here, game of life war. You can even download this also. In this way, you are able to write a simple declarative pipeline. Clear? So now what I will do that I have written it. I can go with writing a Spring Pet Clinic, but what I will do now, I will not write it. I will leave it to you to write a declarative pipeline for building a Spring Pet Clinic project. Okay, but in the next class, like when we start, right, I will be showing you the scripted pipelining for the declarative pipeline for the Spring Pit Clinic as well as OpenMRS. But I would request you to go for writing your own declarative pipeline, right? Once you write the declarative pipeline, you can even post in our WhatsApp group also, so that I'll get to know like what exactly you have written. Okay, guys. So that is a that is a task for you. So what is the task for you, or exercise for you, assignment for you all? So write a declarative declarative pipeline for building the Spring Pet Clinic project. Right? But you know that the Spring Pet Clinic, it needs a combination of Java 17 plus the Maven 3.8.7, that you know very well. And it means that you need to even create a node like node 2, where the node 2 has those combinations. It means that you've installed, you have configured, as well as you have added this node to the Jenkins server. How to add it and all, you know that we already covered all those things in our previous session. So you need to do all those things, and then you need to write a pipeline. Is it clear, guys? So we have just written a very small pipeline, okay, a declarative pipeline, and I have just executed it and not really come across with all this documentation. In the next session, we'll be doing that. Okay. Now, guys, what is the next thing? What I need to, because I have little more time, 15-20 minutes. So I will go with configuring the email. notification. It means that suppose like when you are writing a declarative pipeline, suppose while running it, if suppose some stage will get fail, if some stages will get fail, if suppose that, okay, let me do one thing, guys. Let me copy it. So Jenkins file for game of life declarative pipeline for game of life for building game of life project. So me so let me copy this and I'll paste it here. Here, guys. Okay, good. We have this. Now, my question is that actually the thing is that Rajesh, suppose that assume that some particular stage got failed, what would happen actually? Guys, if any one particular stage will get failed while executing the pipeline, right? The whole pipeline will get failed. You will not get the success. You'll get always get a failure. Suppose like while archiving the test artifactory, right? There could be some time where it might get failed. So this step or this statement might get failed or this statement might get failed. Still what happened, right? The whole build process is failed only. Now, when you go with the console output, when you see it, you'll get to know this particular stage has got failed actually. But suppose that you're running a pipeline in an automated way, and once it is getting success, you need to send a notification, to the developer or to the person who has raised the request, or else if it is failed, then also you need to send an email to them. So how to send an email actually? How you notify him? So we basically notify through the email only. So email notification is important actually. Email notification is very important. Is important task because you can even share the results. Suppose like if it is getting passed, you say that Rajesh, all the test results and archive also I need to send it over the email. You can do it. So it means that you need some kind of a alert notification. How you are alerting to the developer or the testers, right? Through the email notification. It means that you need to send an email also. So guys, what we will do now? So we will try to configure. We will configure the email notification now. Is it clear, guys? Still here? Any doubts you have? I'm sorry, I didn't ask you about. Are you? Do you finding any difficult in this, or else how do you feel? Is it easy or difficult? It is not that difficult, right? You have to only follow the syntax, right? Just this is a simple way we are written, but more and more, if you start writing, right, more and more complexity will grow when you start working more and more writing, so that you will see that there are many steps are being added actually. But this is a very simple way of starting how to write a pipeline. Tomorrow we'll see how to write a scripted pipeline, a declarative pipeline for the Spring Pet Clinic, Open MRS, many other projects we can develop it actually like that. So tomorrow we'll be in once I come back from the vacation, right? I'll be showing you some project on Node.js actually, where I'll be writing a declarative pipeline for implementing the Node.js project actually. So one project I will show you. So where I'll be writing a declarative pipeline for that. Okay, so that would be kind of a real time for you all to understand how exactly Node.js project works. Okay, so now guys, what we will do now, like there are two ways are there. There are many ways are there, guys, to for email notification, implementation. One, what you can do that first, you can create a new Gmail account for this purpose, only for this purpose, and you can configure it. Or else you can say that Rajesh, I don't want to do all these things. Actually, I want to do it. So there is something like a mail trap is there. This is a free version actually, which is provided. So using a mail trap also, you can actually play around to understand how exactly the alert notification or the email notification works actually. So if you go to the mail trap, uh, like this mail trap, okay. So you need to just sign in with your Google account firstly. After signing in, it will provide you some details actually. So after sign in, it will provide you some details actually. Okay, and then basically what you have to do, you can start email testing like this. You can start the email testing. So here, it gives all those details, show credentials. If you see, right, so this credentials SMTP you can use for playing with this email notification. Or else what I said, right, the second method, the first method, that create a new Gmail account, and then like you can configure the email notification, everything with your Jenkins. So what we're doing now, we will configure the email notification by integrating the Gmail with Jenkins. Is it clear, guys? So what I'll do for this purpose, guys, I have created my own a new Gmail account I've created. Okay, let me log in into the Gmail account. Okay, this is not the one. Okay, let me sign out and let me sign into. So this is Rajesh.Devops.email. This is a new email which I have created it actually. Open it. So let me log into this. Okay. Add a home address. Oh God, something I'll choose. Okay. Okay. Okay, guys, I have logged into my Gmail. Okay. So whenever you're configuring the notification, so what you have to do first, you need to create a Gmail account first. And the second point is that actually that you need to, you need to go with the settings, go to the settings. Under the settings, you need to go to the security. Under the security, you need to configure the uh, like notification alerts. I will tell you now. So if you go here and if you go to the manage your Google accounts, right? Click on this. It'll take you to the settings. Actually, here in the settings, you could go. You could see that there's something like security. So click on the security. So if you click on the security, guys, there you could see that actually the two-way step notification is there actually, and the password is also there actually. Use your phone to sign in. A recovery email, right? As well as you need to enable the notification and less secure apps. So by default they have disabled it as of now. So what I will do, guys, here I will do one thing. I will go with the two-step verification. So this two-step verification should be on actually. So two steps verification should be on, as well as you need to set the password also. So that password I will do it later actually now. So now I will do it actually, but I think that what are the number I've given. Hold a second, let me do a to notification. So to mail notification. Okay, go to the get started. So that should be on actually. So I'll give my number only. I know that I'm making it public, but that is fine actually. So this is my number, and let me go to the next. Okay, enter. What is the text message? So I got the alert. Okay, let me do one thing, guys. Let me see what is the message. I got it. Okay, the next. Okay, turn on. Yeah. So your notification has been turned on. It means that your two-step verification has been turned on now. Okay, fine. So I'll do one thing again. I will go back here to my security. Sorry, to my Google account. I'll go to my security again. So I think that is enabled, right? This has been enabled actually, right? So once this is enabled, guys, now you could see that there is something like a two-step verification is on actually. This should always be on. After that, you could see that there's something like app password. So this also you need to generate the password. Okay. Okay, this you need to do it actually. So what is the first step? Two-step notification should be on actually, should be enabled. That I already did now. After that, what I have to do, guys? After that, what I have to do that you need to sorry. Okay, you need to, the second step is that you need to generate the app password actually, app password. So this is what are the app password is there, right? That you need to generate it actually. Okay, so this is what the few steps which you need to do in your Gmail account. Okay, fine, good. I need to do Gmail account. What else you need to do in a Jenkins now, right? Under the Jenkins server, you know that you have manage Jenkins. Under manage Jenkins, guys, under the manage Jenkins, you need to go to the plugin section, manage plugins, and there you need to install the email plugins. You need to install it. So what I think I've already installed it. I don't have to do it again because it takes some time, guys. So what I will do here, I will come to the dashboard. I have a manage Jenkins, and here you could see that actually you could go to the manage Jenkins plugin, sorry, manage plugins, and if you go to the installed plugins, there if you type just email, you could see that there's the email plugin is already installed actually. So this plugin is already installed it actually. Or else if you go to the available and if you execute the email extension is there actually. So this also you need to install it. So if you click on this and say install, on second, email extension template, sorry, email extension template, this is what you need to install it actually. Okay, this one you have to install it, guys. Okay, so install without restart. Okay, fine. So it has installed now. So what are the things you have to install? You need to install a plugin by name email plugin template, that you need to install it, plus email this is the main important plugin, need to install it. So yeah, it's now getting installed. Sometime what happened, guys, some of the plugins, right, it will take lot of time to come to get installed and to get restarted. Why? Because that I am using a T2.medium. Even T2.medium is not that big configuration server, it's a small configuration server only. So some plugins, like in moving forward, when I'm teaching some of the things, right, the plugins will take more time to get installed. For example, if I'm installing the Sonar Cube, if I'm installing the JFrog, or if I'm installing the Nexus, Artifactory plugins, those plugins will take a lot of time because this is a less configured. So at that time, what happened, right? If you want to do practice, you want to make it faster, means you can go with the T2 large server, or T2.2x large server. There, what happened, if you're taking little high configuration, installing plugins and all will become very easy. It means that it will quickly install the plugins. For here, what happened, right? It will take some time. Okay. So let me log in to my account. So I have logged into my system. Okay, fine. So two things I have did, guys. Whatever what I have did it here, I have created an email account, two-step verification, and I need to just generate the password. I will be doing it now after some time. So in the manage Jenkins, you need to install the plugin. This is a plugin. Okay. After that, what is the fourth step? Again, go to the Jenkins, go to the manage Jenkins, and again the manage Jenkins, go to the configure system, click onto the configure system. So there, if you click here, if you go to here, and if you go to the, if you click onto the manage Jenkins, and you can see that there's a configure system is there. Click on this configure system. So guys, here what happens that here, if you come down, you know very well that I did my Maven configuration. I did a Maven setting everything in the configure system. Same thing. If you come down, if you come down, and if you come down, okay, don't worry about the Sonar Cube and all. I've already configured it, but later I will show you tomorrow. Next classes I'll show. Come down, you will find something known as a email. Where is it, guys? Come down, come down. JFrog is there. Fine, that's fine. There is something known as a email notification. Come down. I think it will be at the down somewhere. Yeah, email, extended email notification. This is what you have it actually. Okay, this is what you have it. Or else, if you come down, still you come down, you come down, you could see that email notification. This is what you should go. So here, what is in configure system, you need to go to the email notification. So here, guys, email notification, you need to provide some details here. What are the details? So here you would say that Rajesh, it is SMT server. You know that SMTP, not SMTP dot gmail.com. This is nothing but your SMTP for the Gmail account, for your Gmails, everything, right? So now suffix you need not to really give it, that is not required. You go to the advanced section here, click on it, and here you could see that it is asking for use the SMTP authentication. SMTP authentication means you need to give your Gmail account and Gmail password. So my Gmail account is nothing but rajesh.devops.email@gmail.com. Okay, I'll go here, rajesh.devops.email@gmail.com. This is my user account. This is my user account. Okay, this is my user account. So let me check it. Yeah, it's a user account. Now, after that, what I will do here, I'll come over here. I'll go to the configuration. Here it is asking for the password. I need not to give the password. Whatever the password is there, and I shouldn't give my password. Instead, what happened, right? You should go to a settings. If you go to a settings, guys, if you go to your Gmail settings, under manage Google settings, you have to go to the security. Under the security, you know that there's something like the app password. You need to click on this app password. Click on this. Select the app. So in what way for what reason you need the password to be set generated? Whether you need for the email, contact, or YouTube or anything. I'll go with other Jenkins. Sorry, others. So here I'll give something like that for Jenkins. I need it. Okay, and then just generate it. So you could see that it has generated this app password. So you need to copy this app password and go to your configure and paste it here. So even try to check one more time here also how it is pasting. It is pasting properly. Yes, it is pasting properly. CFF last. So here also just try to check it over here also. If it is CFF, ECFF, yeah, it is correct actually. Clear, guys? So this you have set it actually. Okay, you have created later. You can I will delete later after some time. Okay. So now what happened that you have configured it. Okay, come down. Select always use SSL always. Okay. Then SMTP port. They're having various ports are there like 25 is there, 2525 is there, 465 is there. I will go with the 465. Sometime what happened 2525 will not work. 465 will work. Yeah, then you need to use appropriately. There are 2 to 3 ports are there for SMTP port, either 25, 25, 25 or it's 465. I'll use the 465. Reply to, I'm not really giving now the reply to. I'll come over here or else reply to. Okay, I'll not give the reply to. I will go with the test configuration for sending. I need to verify now whether the testing, whether the email is actually dispatching or not. So click on this. It'll ask you. So I'll give the same email ID, rajesh.devops.email@gmail.com. For test the configuration, if you test it, it should be success, guys. See, emails was successfully sent. Come out to the inbox. Can you see that you got one email success? Correct. So now what you will do, guys, here you will come over here. You come over to your Jenkins job here. Okay. Now you say apply and save it. So now suppose if I go to my same game of life declarative pipeline, game of life declarative pipeline is there, or else you can go with any job actually. You know that I have already having a spring pet clinic demo one, something like that. If you go to the configure, okay, what you're doing, you're just calling a high you're running that to JDK 17, right? That is not, but that is a label. Under that label you are running this project, fine. You're having a GitHub, right? And then what you're doing, you are building to the main, right? And here what you're doing, that you are just calling, you are from the high level, or else you're just calling this build package, right? Suppose assume that actually purposely there is no command by name packages or packages one, something package one. There's no command. There's no goal with the name package one. I'm trying to make it to fail, right? And then wrongly I'm passing some argument here. And in the post build actions, come over here. You could see the email notification. Yeah, click on this email notification. Come over here, and you can give the email Rajesh dot email rajesh.devops.email@gmail.com. Right? And then send an email whenever the build is unstable. It means that whenever this is getting failed, Maven build is getting failed, right? You just send an email notification to this email ID like that, and then say apply and save it. Now you build it. Obviously, you know that M1 build will fail. See, it is running fine. It is doing a code pull. Okay, after doing a code pull, see, it is calling the MVN package one, but there's no MVN package one. It will get failed. See, failure, and you could see that it has sent an email. Come back to your email. Go here. You could see that. See, build failed in Jenkins, Spring Pit Learning. See, you will see all the information. See, you got the complete log. So through that, you will get to know that okay, Rajesh, I have wrongly passed this package one. Instead of package, I have passed a package one. So you will get to know through this email ID. Through this email, you will get to know. Is it clear, guys? Still here? Are you finding difficulty?
No, sir. It's clear.
It's easy, right? Okay. Tomorrow we will see how you can configure the email through your pipeline. Suppose through the pipeline you need to send an email. Means under the post build activity or under the post build you need to enable the email. So it means that you need to use you have to use from to subject line. What is the subject line? What is the message? So you need to configure everything. So under the post build of your pipeline, right? Under this post build, see here under the post build, here you will be configuring the emails actually. You'll be sending. You can send an email to the post actions actually. Okay, so under the post actions you can send an email. Here you can send an email over here from here. So if any one of the stage will get failed, the post actions you can send an email like that. So this you will be implementing in the pipelining in the next class. Is it clear, guys? So what is the activity you need to do, guys? Now you need to write a, this is the assignment for you. You need to write a Spring Pet Clinic as well as OpenMRS also, if you have a time, right? And then you need to configure all these things. Clear, guys? So let me do one thing. For me to be in a safer side, it is always better that I will go over here and I will try to remove this one. I have removed it, right? And then that's all. Yeah. So just for this purpose, only for sending email purpose, I created this email account, guys. Okay, you can do it in your email also, but better I would suggest that don't do it. You create your own email, new email, and do play with this with your email account. So I hope that, guys, you understood today what is the, we just started today declarative pipeline. We will be continuing with 2 to 3 examples. We will see many other things, because if you see this diagram, you could see that we need to understand what is the environment, tools, option, trigger, parameter, library. There are so many things are there which we will be using this optional parameters, right, while writing a declarative pipeline. So I'll be using some of these fields or some of these optional parameters while writing a Spring Pet Clinic, and while writing an OpenMRS, I'll be using this. Correct, guys? So next class, guys, at the end, I would suggest tomorrow I'm traveling. I'll be back by 7th. Hopefully from 11th, I will continue my Jenkins. Or else, if I'm free on any one of the day, night time, I will have one session, and 11th and 12th we'll continue from our journey in the Jenkins. Is it clear, guys? So we have 1 week of time. You can practice whatever you want. Not 1 week of more than 1 week. You have more than, you have literally two weeks are available. So you can practice all the Jenkins. So do from the beginning, guys. Practice everything from the beginning. Watch from the day one video onwards. Practice it everything and be ready. Once we return back, right, you should be good in writing declarative pipeline. So is it clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Sure. Thank you, guys. Any doubts you have? Okay. If no, then we'll wind up the session. Thank you all for joining. I'm very happy that you guys joined. Even it's 11:30 late night, still you are there. I'm very thankful to you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye, guys. Bye, guys.
Thank you, Rajesh. Bye. Good night.
Good night. Thank you. Thank you, Sanjay sir. Thank you. Bye.
Good night, sir.